I got a bad feeling about this.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most disappointing, disastrous adaptations of video games in TV history.
Bad things happened in the past. You know you were there.
Number 10, Street Fighter.
No high-tech bombs to defuse, no terrorist army to stop. This time your enemy is a virus.
I hate colds.
Capcom's revolutionary Street Fighter franchise didn't have much luck with American adaptations. In 1995, the show was part of the USA Cartoon Express block on Saturday mornings, but was far from a knockout.
I hate when that happens.
The premise of an international undercover martial arts squad keeping the peace partially took from the game's live-action film adaptation from the same era. The show was simple-minded in its stiff animation and even stiffer writing. Even the iconic Ryu and Ken were seldomly seen and mostly used for painful comic relief.
Are you sure you don't want to hang out? I hear Tierra del Fuego's got some killer waves.
Waves? Wait a minute. You said there was work.
Street Fighter the cartoon may have lived to fight a second season, but audiences were left fatigued by another attempt at the fighting game staple that lacked stamina itself. Number 9, Captain N, the Game Master. One of Nintendo's first IP crossovers followed a teenage gamer who's transported into his game console. There, he and the N-Team ventured through some of Nintendo's most popular realms to prevent the cunning Mother Brain from conquering Videoland.
Where am I?
Oh, you're in Videoland. The ultimate warp zone brought you here.
You mean like Warp Zone 4 and Super Mario Brothers?
It was an interesting premise, but in execution, Captain N was just another typical Saturday morning action cartoon. The stories and animation were silly, with obnoxiously over-the-top humor, characters, and voice acting.
That was a real cool move, Kavinicus. I agree.
Thanks!
The show lasted 3 seasons and was reworked for syndication, but with no real creativity or faithfulness to the games, it was eventually game over for Captain N, the Game Master.
Well, it was very nice of you to drop by. Do come back and visit us soon in, say, 20 years.
Number 8, Sonic Underground. Of all of the loose TV adaptations of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, Sonic Underground is perhaps the boldest. In a dystopian world, Sonic reunites with his long-lost siblings of royal roots to thwart Dr. Robotnik's tyranny with the power of music. This was a bold idea that caught plenty of viewers' attention across 40 episodes in just one season. Jaleel White deserves some credit for his vocal range as the Three Hedgehogs. Unfortunately, the plot was a cacophony of big ideas that never quite jammed.
Hedgehog, you're defeated. Admit it.
Only if you catch me.
The animation and cheesy writing didn't have much rhythm either. Sonic Underground admittedly has its place in 90s kids nostalgia thanks to everyone's favorite blue hedgehog, but it simply did not rock.
And here's to the day when we can all toast to freedom. Together.
Number 7, The Legend of Zelda.
Another beautiful day in the magical kingdom of Hyrule. Boring place.
At least this short-lived Nintendo game cartoon got the basic concept of Link and Princess Zelda defending the kingdom Hyrule from Ganon right. But it exhausted that concept with repetitive action and a tacked-on romance, while missing much of the game's classic aesthetics. It also had a hammy comedic tone.
Ta-da! Saved your life again. Kiss me.
Link's infamous turn from the definitive silent hero to an irritable stalker is considered a legendary travesty among video game adaptations. Gaming culture is especially haunted by his catchphrase,
Hey, excuse me, princess.
whined 29 times in just 13 episodes. At least the episodes were mercifully short, airing as part of the variety show that takes the next spot on our list. Number 6, The Super Mario Bros. Super Show. In 1989, Nintendo's plumbing duo first hopped onto the small screen with a haphazard variety show. Each episode introduced the Mario Brothers in a live-action sitcom starring 2 pro wrestlers, which was even cheesier than it sounds.
What do we always say, Mario? Hey, you slob, that's my pizza.
When the cartoon rolled, it featured cheap animation and random creative liberties. The genre and scenery of the Mushroom Kingdom kept randomly changing. Not that that brought much variety to 52 episodes of the same basic adventure, gags, and Italian stereotypes. At least the show maintained the video game sound effects. The Super Mario Bros. Super Show is now considered a camp classic, which spawned several seminal YouTube memes. But mamma mia, is it not super at all?
Yo, I need a doctor. I need a pizza.
Number 5, Tak and the Power of Juju. After producing 3 sleeper hit games in the Tak franchise, Nickelodeon gave the novice shaman his own CG animated show in 2007.
You're wasting our time!
It was technically ambitious, with long production intervals that definitely didn't help its low rating. Unfortunately, Tak's magical adventure failed to dazzle fans of the game's more dynamic energy.
I defeated the Woodies!
You sure about that? Help me!
While the short-lived series polarized critics, audience felt more cursed than enchanted. Even now, gamers who grew up with Tak and the Power of Juju hold little nostalgia for what some consider one of the worst shows in Nickelodeon history.
I told you he's got a big head.
Number 4, Resident Evil.
Day 167 of observation. PAC 2426 still shows no sign of leadership structure or higher brain function.
After several cinematic experiments with Capcom's Resident Evil, Netflix sought to reanimate the franchise's original vision. Chronicling the outbreak of the Umbrella Corporation's apocalyptic virus, the show had a faithful core concept, but was tonally inconsistent. Sometimes too serious, sometimes too frilly. The writing was just too busy.
It was an unimaginable tragedy. A horrible accident that no one could have seen coming.
Resident Evil gamers were particularly harsh, and it wound up being one of the worst rated series in Netflix history. Timing was admittedly not on the show's side, coming amid zombie genre fatigue and right after a dismal movie reboot.
Stop this.
Canceled after just 1 season, Resident Evil was dead on arrival. Number 3, Donkey Kong Country.
DK's back and out of here. This is too easy.
Based on the groundbreaking video game franchise of the same name, Donkey Kong Country also broke ground as one of the first CG animated series. It's a dubious distinction considering how crude and downright horrifying this animation style was in the beginning. Though it improved with a change in studio for season 2, the show never grew out of silly plots, awkward humor, and obnoxious musical numbers. Fans of the games were also irritated by the show's many liberties. Most infamously, Donkey Kong's catchphrase, "Banana Slammer!" The show gained cult status for its surreal visuals and concepts, but that's really all that this monkeying around on Congo Bongo Island offers. Number 2, Mortal Kombat, Defenders of the Realm.
We need a strategic plan of attack.
I got one! Combat time!
Given its notoriety for violence, Mortal Kombat wasn't an ideal choice to adapt as a Saturday morning cartoon. But the franchise's success made it somewhat inevitable. The series followed the heroes of Earthrealm as they faced evildoers from other dimensions. In place of violence, the show added strange drama full of flat characters, one-liners, and wholesome messages for kids.
Hey, Sub-Zero's cool. Sorry. He's a warrior of honor.
The action that did make it into the show was sparse, repetitive, and bloodless even by Saturday morning standards. Defenders of the Realm was finished after 1 season, but lives on as a lowlight in the Mortal Kombat franchise.
It's just hard for me to trust anymore.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions. Double Dragon, a half-baked and cheesy adaptation of a beat-em-up classic. Mega Man Fully Charged. This robo superhero revision of Capcom's Hero came up low on juice.
Thank you.
People call me Mega Man.
Mortal Kombat Conquest, the absurd and poorly produced kung fu fantasy, couldn't survive past season 1.
You killed Perone, and you killed my sister. This battle is between us now, to the death.
Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. Generic writing and crude animation made this Pac-Man adaptation hard to swallow.
You, young Packer, the chosen one. The future of our civilization depends on you.
Then we are in deep back, Guano.
Pole position. This frantic racing game adaptation ran out of gas after 1 season.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Darkstalkers, the animated series. Capcom's Darkstalkers was a groundbreakingly mature and ambitious fighting game. For it to be turned into a standard 90s kids cartoon is a travesty in concept alone.
Ugh, monstrous. Shocking.
Producers took drastic liberties with the source material and simplified the story to an alien invasion, while creating an annoying child wizard to help the heroes fight back.
Now, I gotta go to school. My mom gets mad if she finds strange cat women in my room. So could you just go?
Perhaps this premise would have been easier to accept if the execution hadn't been full of corny comedy, nonsensical writing, and subpar animation. Darkstalkers, the animated series, represents everything wrong with lazy action cartoons of its era. And as far as adaptations of video games for TV, many still consider it the trend's darkest hour.
Besides, I can be a big help to you. You know, fighting evil and stuff. Honest.
You have no idea what you're saying.
Can you think of terrible TV show adaptations that would have been best left on the gaming console? Play along in the comments and let us know down below.
Well, excuse me.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.